We might be live. We might not. We don't know. Awesome. This is Get Virtual with Todd and Megan, and we almost know what we're doing. How things going for you, Megan?
Oh, I just love computers. I think at this point, it's 3 weeks into our quarantine.
Yeah.
So everything's going smoothly.
Oh, it's awesome. You know what I really liked? And guys, pay attention to the getaway page because we're going to have a blooper reel after all this is done of all these things. And we had for a while where it's going bing, 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 bing over and over again, which was not annoying at all. You would have loved it. Pass on the positivity. We love it. Things go wrong, just move on with it. Oh, so Megan,
we are all about passing on that positivity. And I think that's the best part about really trying to get used to these virtual live elements is that there's so much humility involved in it that if you can't laugh at yourself, if you can't laugh at your feeling and looking like an idiot, then you're not going to survive.
The great thing about feeling and looking like an idiot, I am well versed at that. I have been doing that for close to 50 years, and I just get better and better at it every year. It's amazing.
Well, now that all of our IT problems are out of the way, we can introduce our guests and have an amazing show and be able to share all of the incredible things that this region is doing to get virtual.
Awesome. That is true. First, though, I want to share a few screenshots of some positive stuff we've seen throughout the region here. And, we picked up some pretty good stuff. So let me go ahead and do that right now. So this was a great story that you pointed out. So this is here in Reno. We've got the Indian Kebab and Curry is actually serving 100 free meals a day. That is just absolutely amazing. And this was featured in the Reno Gazette Journal. And you can see people picking up food. I mean, what a great way to give back to the community. It's just fantastic. And you're seeing that stuff everywhere. I noticed that you shared with me this great picture. I mean, do you always make face masks for your cat? Do you have a cat?
So I am not turning into a cat lady. No, I do not have a cat. I just find it really creative how people are starting to make a variety of different masks, including masks for their cats.
You know what? You can't be too careful. Now, I've been trying to hit my quarantine checklist. Obviously, I binge watched Tiger King because you've got to do that, right? And this weekend, before the snow hit, we made a tiny picnic table. That's my youngest daughter, Yara, and we gave it. Oops, that's the wrong way. That's all three of my kids dressed up. We play dress up a lot. And here you can see, here it is out with the squirrel feet on it, and there's a squirrel eating from the tiny picnic table out in my mother-in-law's backyard. Oh, look at you! Are you quarantine set there? I love it. Oh,
I don't know how to sew, so this is my new mask, my new quarantine.
Oh yeah, you gotta have people see that. Oh, that is a great mask. Do you use that when you go to the store? Do you use that when you go to the grocery store?
Yes, I don't even need bags. I can just stuff it in.
Amazing. I love it. And just to help introduce our first guest, or our guest coming in, we've shared this before, but this is an amazing thing here, and we're going to be talking about this later. This is from Bentley Heritage. This is a big old drum of hand sanitizer, and we're going to find out more about that when we bring our guests on. And let's go and bring them on right now, and you can go ahead and introduce who we got coming on.
Yes, so today's show is called Distilling Heroes, an appropriate name because we'll be meeting head distiller or master distiller Johnny Jeffrey from Bentley Heritage, who has essentially transitioned their estate distillery into making gallons and gallons of hand sanitizer. And then we'll also be meeting Heidi from Visit Carson Valley, who will be giving us an update on the messaging for Douglas County, Nevada, as well as what Visit Carson Valley is doing to stay virtually connected with people looking to keep Carson Valley close at heart. So I'm super excited for today to be able to kind of dive into some of those local stories. Hey, Johnny.
We got Johnny. We might have to, I was having a little bit of trouble getting people to go, but I think I got it. Here's Johnny. And hopefully Heidi will be able to join us. There's Johnny.
Hey.
Johnny. And Heidi's going to be joining us here in a second. Unmute and ask start video. And let's see if Heidi might be sideways. No, she's right head up. Good job.
Hey, awesome.
We're all here in one room.
And you know what, guys? I know we did the practice run and made sure you knew everything was going to work out right. That was just a practice run to show you that everything can go wrong. So now you know.
That's good. Everyone needs a good disaster drill.
Johnny, so on that note, speaking of disaster drills, why don't you highlight what you're doing over at Bentley before and after all this transition occurred?
Yeah, so, the distillery makes gin and vodka and whiskey, and, ordinarily we're, bottling and cranking out spirits and sending off barrels of whiskey to age for a few years. When we got the shutdown order Tuesday evening to shut down by noon Wednesday, we were definitely non-essential. And, I think the short version is I started looking at some calculations for doing, switching over to doing hand sanitizer, which is alcohol-based anyway. And by the weekend, we had enough ingredients coming for about 2,000 gallons, and we're well over that now. So we've made a hard transition fast.
You're spiriting in other ways.
Hey, there you go. That's cute. Yeah.
And the question is, we did show a screen share of this Juggo, hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Couple things, two questions. One, what do you think the street value of that is? And number two, you guys are a pretty unique thing there. You have this estate distillery. Is that considered estate hand sanitizer as well?
Premium.
Yeah, so it's a 55-gallon drum that is most definitely super premium hand sanitizer. It is estate, it comes from the grain that we grow in Carson Valley here. And, so that means that we get to, sort of reactivate the ranch and our facilities team working on the equipment to keep it running, and the distilling team cranking stuff out. The guy in the picture there is Jim Piss Ciotti. He's on our production team, and, he's loading up drums on a truck. We moved over 900 gallons last week of hand sanitizer. We have just under 700 gallons ready to go on a truck this Thursday, and it's going to Reno, Washoe, Sparks, Douglas, Carson Valley, and it's all going in big drums like that to be spread around to Health and Human Services and law enforcement.
Awesome.
That's amazing. And Heidi, being a part of Visit Carson Valley, you're there kind of hearing this activation as well, and kind of what's the local take on it, of being so proud of this, new distillery, just essentially transitioning.
I truly think it's amazing. I don't know how you guys did it so fast, but I don't know why I'm surprised. Obviously, everything Bentley does is amazing, and we're super proud. And it's one more example of what our community members are doing to give back in a time when everybody kind of feels helpless, because you're kind of just sitting there and watching the world turn. And it's these small moments that we can draw that attention to. And it makes you feel good. And I'm sure the Bentley team feels good being able to give back in this way too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Bentley. We were talking about. It's truly is something that they're literally doing to help the community. So that's amazing stuff. Now, I know that Carson Valley has some other initiatives they're doing. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Heidi? Some different things that you guys are doing to try to help spread the positivity the best you can.
Absolutely. Our county, Douglas County, is really focusing on pointing out what's not canceled. There's a lot of things we cannot do right now. But that's okay, because there's a ton of stuff we can do. We can change a manufacturing process to make hand sanitizer. We can, suicide prevention, put together 300 goodie bags for frontline workers and first responders and medical personnel that just had some vitamin C and a little pick-me-up and, a snack, and just kind of distributed those. And we've got so many people, and I'm sure all over this region, are creating masks, making masks to give to some of the vulnerable populations and trying to take care of their fellow neighbor any way that they can.
That's incredible. They're not making my masks.
But at least you can see you in your mask. It's kind of scary when you go into a store and you can't really see anyone. It's a little bit scary.
I did see someone that had a birthday hat on too. I'm like, you know what? It might work, and at least you feel like you're in a party too.
Yeah, you got to add some levity to the situation for sure.
That's not the weirdest thing I've seen worn as a mask.
Johnny, not to get too much in the weeds.
I challenge Todd at this point in time. Next show with your mask on.
I know I should get like a party hat. Oh, don't worry, I have 3 girls under 5. I'm sure I'm gonna have some very decorated masks in the near future here. But Johnny, with not to get too much in the weeds with the chemistry of the whole thing, but how hard was the conversion from making distilled spirit to making hand sanitizer? I mean, in that process, obviously they're both alcohol based, but how hard was that?
Yeah, so the only difference is, beverage alcohol versus what's called denatured alcohol, which is alcohol you can't drink. It has something added to it to make it non-potable. So we had a little bit of trouble at the beginning getting our hands on denaturing agents, but, honestly, distillers all over the country are doing this, craft distillers, startup distillers. There's a handful of distillers in Reno who are putting together a co-op to kind of co-buy ingredients, I think, so they can start doing this as well or continue doing it. And so, the transition was basically, taking the alcohol we were already making, denaturing it, adding ingredients to it, and figuring out what recipe to follow. I mean, we needed guidance from the government really on what we could do legally. So we have a World Health Organization recipe that we follow for hand sanitizer. And craziest thing I've ever seen, the federal government moved so quickly. The legislating body we operate under, the FDA and the TTB, it took them less than 4 days to issue guidance to distilleries on how to make hand sanitizer for their communities. It's unbelievable. Really, really cool. And trade organizations for distillers, one in particular, the American Craft Spirits Association, put a ton of work into it to work with the agencies, and the information got out, and in under a week, distilleries all over the country made the change. Super cool.
Wow.
How much sanitizer do you think you'll end up making in the end, or what do you think your goal is?
So we'll be over 5,000 gallons by the end of April, and we could do 1,400 to 2,000 gallons a week if we really turn the plant on. I had a forecast at one point for 8,000 gallons a week, depending. It's all about need right now.
Right.
We're making what we can make safely with a reduced staff. So we have a maximum of 5 people in the facility at any given time, because we're still sort of walking that boundary of trying to keep safe distances and not, fill the facility with people again. So, if we keep the current staffing, we'll be at, 900 to 1,200 gallons a week for the foreseeable future.
And where can people find more information about Bentley? And are you in full transition from your spirits, or do you actually have bottles that can be bought, as in spirits, not sanitizer?
Yeah. So, our spirits are still in the liquor stores, and we have a warehouse full of product. So when we get orders, we're still filling the orders to distribution. We have 2 gins on the market, Juniper Grove Gin and Source One Vodka. We have 2 vodkas out, and those are in grocery stores and liquor stores all over the state. BentleyHeritage.com is our website. We have information there about, our priorities and how we're distributing the sanitizer and what we continue to do on the spirit side when we're able.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Johnny.
So what's really cool about this situation is that I can actually go out and drink, and I'm actually doing good for the community. If I go out and buy a Bentley vodka or gin or whatever it is, and I drink it, I'm helping support an organization that is helping support the community. In the same way, I've also been told by the mayor of Reno to sit on my couch and drink beer. So I'm loving this situation right now. It's doing great.
Drinking for a cause is not canceled, right, Heidi?
Correct. Hashtag not canceled.
Really quick, Heidi, I know that you guys got a lot of stuff with your armchair stuff and things like that for people to find out more about Carson Valley and what's going on down there, because amazing spot to visit, especially when this quarantine's over. If you're not quite ready to get back into big crowds, Carson Valley is a place you want to kind of ease into the whole thing, probably, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, yeah. And what we're trying to do right now is put out just really nice, peaceful content on our website, and not on our website as well as our social media. We have a ton of photographer partners who are out right now. They may not be working full time at their regular jobs, but they are working full time at taking pictures that are amazing. And we also are trying to help the people who are educating from home. We've put some puzzles and some videos and things up. So if you need, 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes is our new video. We've got like a crossword puzzle and a word search that you can print off and put the kid in front of the video about history, and they're learning stuff and it's fun. So we're trying to do our part to keep the Zoom meetings as distraction-free as possible.
Yeah, luckily I haven't had a kid walk in yet, and hats off to my wife, Becca Poth. I mean, she's been watching the kids and helping teach the kids and do all that stuff for the day as I've been trying to do stuff here. So I don't know how she's keeping sane at all, and then she's got to deal with me when I get off these damn things. So
we're gonna come up with Zoom bingo next. We're gonna try to put together a Zoom bingo kit too.
I like it. Sounds great. Guys, thanks a lot for joining us. Great information, and love hearing from you guys, and keep up the good work. And we'll definitely see you later. All right.
Thanks you guys. Stay safe.
You too.
Yep.
And hopeful and happy and positive.
All those.
Insane.
Awesome.
And not crazy.
Oh, well, that's kind of a hard thing. We're all struggling with that. But you know what today is, Megan? We didn't even talk about it.
What is it, Todd?
National Beer Day, and you told me about this, and I didn't even know. So I'm drinking a Sierra Nevada. I probably should have had like a Lake Tahoe Ale Works or someone else, but I didn't have any with me. But definitely it's a Sierra Nevada, so it is a localish beer. Yes. So
cheers to you. National Beer Day.
I don't know if we
I actually have champagne. I ran out of my beer stock, so I'm gonna have to restock on that.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. What an amazing show! I mean, we heard about that Bentley with changing everything over. We tried to get them on last week and too busy. So amazing we can get them both on today. And Carson Valley, it's really great. We live in such a great community and in this area in Carson Valley, just over there. But we work a lot down there, and we know how they are. Amazing community down there.
But it's like you can appreciate the beauty and all that from your home, right? So exactly. All these places, all these locations, it's going to be here once all this is over. Stay at home, stay safe. Support and love and connect with those individuals in your lives who you don't necessarily have to see face to face to be able to lift your spirits, right? In more ways than one.
Exactly. And here in our Get Virtual, we're always looking for ideas and things like that. If you want to be part of this, or, first thing obviously is sharing this with other people on Facebook, liking, commenting. We love that. Also, you can send us an email at renotahoe@planmygetaway.com, reaching out to us. We're just trying to spread that positive, talk about the things going on out here, and hope you enjoy it. And, at least this is maybe a few-minute distraction until we can get back to our real life, which we will. This is a temporary thing, and it will be over someday.
That is true. And then real quick, shout out to Imbibe Brewery, who is doing free beer Friday with pickup between noon and 4. So if you are a firefighter, hospital worker, frontline, you can actually pick up free beer between noon and 2, and then everyone else between 2 and 4. And that's at Imbibe Brewery. So that's my free beer National Beer Day highlight of today.
That is probably the most useful shout out I have heard ever.
Oh, thanks, Todd.
No worries.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.